Hello, outdoors fans. Welcome back to another episode of KPM Outdoors Podcast. This is episode 5. Um, I was going to have a special guest on this week to talk about the exciting tackle shows that we have in the next few weeks. But with weather and work and the correct notification, I haven't been able to get in contact with him to line out a time, so it just hasn't worked really. So I should have another guest joining us shortly to talk. It's a familiar face. You've seen him before, Mr. Van Kulen. He's supposed to be jumping on here in a minute so we can chat some more. Just talk about fishing and weather or whatever we want to talk about this time, because there's still not a whole lot going on until tournament season starts. Um, I am going to look up a few things from last weekend or this past weekend jackpot stuff and a tournament trail down on 10 Killer. But back to the tackle shows for a second. So Vance Montgomery, Montgomery Productions, Van Mar Outdoors. He was going to join last week. Oh, there's Mr. Van Kulen. Look who it is.
What's up?
What's happening?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Awesome. Sorry, I'm in the work truck driving home.
Ah, long day, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Got to get it in before all this crazy weather comes.
I know. I was actually just mentioning that before you come on, how we got weather and all kinds of craziness going right now.
Yes, sir. Lots
So,
of time to be in the garage tinkering with tackle.
absolutely. I was trying to get Vance on this week from Vanmar to talk about the tackle shows, but just hadn't been able to get connected with him with the craziness going on. So,
Oh, I'm sure he's pretty busy. Doesn't he have like back-to-back weeks shows this week and next or something?
he does. It's the 11th through the 13th and the 18th through the 20th. So
Yeah.
the 11th
And for
through
the
the
Go ahead.
the 11th through the 13th is the what is it? Oklahoma Tackle and Hunting Show or whatever in, I think it's in El Reno this year, instead of Oklahoma
Yeah.
City.
Oklahoma City area.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he's got the Grove Show the 18th through the 20th called the Mid-South Tackle and Hunting Expo or something like that.
Yeah, and both of those are fun. Vance puts on a really good show. He's got a lot of good vendors, a lot of local companies, and you guys haven't been. He's got some good deals and stuff going on those at those shows. You need to check him out.
He does, and last I knew, he still had space for booths. Last I knew, so I think
Well,
you can go to Vanmar or not Vanmar. You can go to Montgomery Productions, I believe, and it has all the information to be able to get a booth with pricing per whatever size booth you want and stuff like that. So, but I was actually just pulling up some last weekend 10 Killer stuff to talk about. Did you see the Hog Hunters deal or the jackpot from this past weekend?
I did not.
So the Hog Hunters deal, it looks like 10 Killer's fishing pretty rough, honestly.
Oh, is it
Um, yeah, first place only had 1680,
for
which is,
five?
yeah, which
Yeah,
is, I
that's
mean,
not bad.
that's still not a bad bag, but I feel like it's a little low for the time of year that it is.
Yeah,
Um, and then 1605 was second, and my buddy Zane Johnson finished third with 1597.
that's some pretty consistent
Yeah, they're
bags.
pretty consistent. The the one that shocked me was the jackpot. Benny's little jackpot.
Yeah, they're
It
regular
only
set.
took
Is that Saturday
yes, it only
or
took
Friday? Yeah,
1270 to win it.
that does shock me.
Yeah, because there's some absolute hammers that fish it. Like Byram fished it. Jake Byram fished it.
Oh yeah, he caught him last week, or was it the week before last
Week
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 where he
before, I
won?
believe.
Yeah,
No, I don't know.
might have been a couple. Might have been a
Might
couple
have been a
weeks.
couple weeks ago that he caught them.
But
He
it
caught
took,
him 2 weeks ago. He had
okay.
16 and a half.
Yeah.
But that week it took 21 and a half to win.
God dang.
And Jason
So it's been
Christie had 18
Oh,
that week.
yeah.
But this weekend it only took 1270 to win. Byram had Big Bass at 490. So
Oh, wow.
not even a full 5 pounds to win. Or to win Big Bass.
Big bass, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jake's a hammer out there. He can catch them.
He is.
Him
Jake's a
and, him,
hammer
and
everywhere.
him and his dad fish out there all the time. Good
Yeah,
people.
for sure. For sure. I actually just got tagged in a post too. I don't know if you've seen it or not. I guess somebody caught an 11, almost 12 pounder at Big Soma.
Really?
Yeah.
It's about time. That place has got them, and
To hell with that place.
I'm surprised it's taking this long for somebody to catch one that big up.
I know. It's somebody the other day when I was working at Bass Pro. Somebody had asked me how Big Soma was, and I'm like, honestly, it's got giants in it.
Yeah.
I said, but they're just so tough to catch out of that lake for some reason, and I haven't figured out why.
Pressure. 100% it's pressure. The amount of boats, not necessarily motor boats, but just boats in general,
Yeah.
it gets hit so hard. I mean, you got to either do something a little bit different, hit it early, like early in the season.
I haven't seen the pressure, but I've only fished it, I think 3 times or 4 times, and every time I fished it, it's been about this time of year.
See, and pressure doesn't really start out there until probably April. I would say late April, when they're on beds. When they start getting on beds, then people start going out there like crazy, and then it goes all summer long because you get your paddle boarders, your kayakers, all those guys and gals, and it's super busy, but it is fun. So
yeah. Well, I've fished it 3 or 4 times, and I think I've caught 3 or 4 fish out of it. Is all I've caught. I haven't caught many. Now, granted,
were they good ones?
The ones I have caught were all 4 or 5 pounders.
Yeah.
So I didn't catch many, but the ones I caught were the right ones.
Yep.
So, but yeah, from the looks of the weights from the jackpot and the hog hunters deal, 10 killer might be tough in a few weeks for Southside.
We know they're there. End of February?
26th. So I actually have. I was actually texting Charles before we started the podcast to have him on next week to talk about Southside.
Talk about it.
Yeah, he's gonna come on and talk about the club and all of that stuff next week. So, but are you fishing Southside?
Quick. That's what 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks away. You're not?
No, I'm not this
Dang
year.
it,
I've
you're
got.
not gonna be.
No, I decided to try to put a little bit more money and go after the top 150s this year. So
there you go.
I'm gonna try that. I've got Hog Hunters. I think it's the Arkansas Hog Hunters because you just.
Yeah, that's the one I was just reading.
Just reading about, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the Arkansas Hog Hunters.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do the Arkansas Hog Hunters. I'm gonna do the Skeeter XFLs, Angler Nation, and then the top 150s this year.
You got a busy trail. Busy year.
Yeah, I do. I got a very, very busy year.
As long as none of them are overlapping, you'll be okay.
No, there was one of the Hog Hunters. Actually, this sucks because you know this place really well, but there was one overlapping. It was Angler Nation, and it was Sardis. We fished Sardis. I think it was supposed to be the weekend of April 4th.
For the Arkansas Hog Hunters?
Yeah, and we're supposed to have 10 killer for Angler Nation that weekend.
Oh, that sucks
So
because Sardis should be on fire that week.
yeah, that's what Matt said. I'm like, well, I was like,
Like,
unless
your chances of catching a 9+ pounder are very good.
yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to. Well, here's the other dilemma that we're running into. Both of my partners don't have boats right now,
Let's
so
see. April 4th. Birdie might need a sub.
yeah. Well, he's fishing Angler Nation too, so I
Oh,
don't know.
dang it.
And he
Well,
doesn't
they
have a
let you.
boat. He doesn't have a boat, so you might be able to do that. You might, you might, you might, or you could come over and help us out and go fish the Angler Nation, and I can go fish with Matt. You
Oh,
can do
there you
that
go.
too.
Are you? That's funny.
I've
Yeah,
never
just
been.
go.
I don't know anything about it.
I could go sub with Brendan, and you could go fish your hog hunters deal.
Yeah, yeah.
We might have to discuss that.
Well, yeah. And I heard rumors that because the BFL, I believe, is the same weekend as the Angler Nation opener, which is March 10th
Yep.
or 11th, whatever that weekend is, that we are going to keep the same date, but we're going to flip lakes just so we're not on top of them.
Where are you supposed
So
to
we
be,
might,
Grand?
yes.
Of
So we
course.
might be flipping a couple lakes.
I'm there
Like
on Friday,
twisted.
the 11th.
You're at Grand
Yeah.
for what?
The Big Bite Challenge Championship.
Dang, that's a lot of stuff going on that same weekend.
Yeah. I was hoping they would do it somewhere besides Grand, but they picked Grand again.
Well,
Man,
Yeah.
that place needs a break.
Well, especially that weekend because now that tournament's there. I think Angler Nation's getting moved, but we're supposed to be there. The BFL is there, and the Skeeter is there. That's all that weekend.
Jeez, that lake's getting pounded that weekend.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. Everybody's
Well,
trying. Everybody's trying to get in their tournament before it gets crazy with all the pleasure boaters, and I don't blame them.
yeah, no kidding. Well, I need you to go fish the Sardis deal because I'm supposed to be on Sardis at the end of April, so you can go fish it and point me in the right direction.
See, we all win. You might,
Yeah.
yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
That's funny. But
I would like to go there. I've never been. You talk about it all the time, and several others have talked about how great a fishery that place is, and
yeah,
I've never gotten to go. So I think it'd be fun. But
I love that place. That place is awesome. And just the biggest thing is pray the wind don't blow
yeah,
because it gets rough.
really, it's not that
Oh my
big, is it?
God. No. But that east side of the lakes, so there's 3 branches to the lake. 2 of them run north and south, and the other one runs east and west. But that farthest east, the branch that runs north and south on the far east end of the lake where the Potato Hill boat ramp is, it gets brutally rough.
Yeah. Well, if it runs north and south, I can totally see it.
John
This time of
James
year
ripped
out
his
that way.
trolling motor completely off his boat there one year.
What?
Yeah.
Because he hit something or what?
No, because it was so rough.
Wow.
He hit a wave just right, and it made his trolling motor deploy. And then the next wave he hit caught the trolling motor and just ripped it off.
Oh, while he was running.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, that lake gets rough. Big time.
Hey. I wouldn't have
Big
guessed
time.
that.
Yeah. It's awesome lake though. I love fishing down there.
Well,
So
we'll see. We'll see what we end up doing. We got a little bit of time.
that's where John James's family friends tournament is this year. So
That's the end of April.
end of April, 28th, 29th, 30th, something like that.
Good
But
time to be there.
yeah, it should be on fire.
Is it
But
clear? Can you sight fish?
no, I mean down by the dam, if we don't get any rain, you might get some, but no, not usually. If they're on beds, you're just gonna have to blind cast to them.
Mm,
So it's super shallow, got a lot of standing timber in it. You got to be careful where you go.
interesting.
Yeah. So if you decide to go fish
Little
it,
Lake
get with.
Shore.
Yeah, except channels aren't marked. So when you start seeing timber, you better shut down and idle unless you know where you're going.
Okay, so
So
maybe more like the Arkansas River then.
yeah. So if you
Always
go
cheap.
fish it, let me know. I'll give you some general ideas where you can run and where you can't.
Okay, I'll
At least
definitely
in the
take
part of the
notes.
lakes part of the lake that I've covered. So
You fished it enough. I feel like you've covered most of it.
I've never been on the west end really.
Okay.
The far west side. I've went over there a little bit, but I didn't spend a whole lot of time. I've spent most of my time on the two arms that run north and south on the eastern, kind of the middle and eastern side of the lake.
Gotcha.
So mainly because I feel like that's where the majority of the tournaments get won on that lake, but
Is there grass in there?
not anymore.
Hmm.
It used to have water willow in it until we had the big flood a few years ago, and it killed it all.
Dang.
Yeah. It started to make a comeback, and then our flood, well, I say a few years ago. So we had that big flood in the winter, what, 8 years ago or whatever it was, 9 years ago now. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
That killed it, and then it started to come back, and then when we had the big flood, what, 2 years ago when the barge broke loose on the river over here, 19, I think is when that flood was.
Yeah, it was
All
a
of
couple years ago.
all that water killed it again.
Oh my gosh.
So it started to come back, and then the flood killed it for a second time. So you'll find a little bit still here and there, but there's not much.
It's my favorite stuff to fish. I wish it had it in it.
Grass,
Mm-hmm. That
yeah.
water willow.
I'm looking forward to. I got a tournament on Spavinal in April, like the second week, so I'm looking forward to that one.
Yes, that will be fun.
Yeah, it should be.
What tournament's that?
The Tulsa Fraternal Order of Police tournament.
Oh,
So
yes, that will be fun.
my buddy that runs that trail, him and his partner split ways this year, so he asked me if I'd fish it with him.
Yeah,
So
I
he's the
remember you
same
saying that.
one. He's the same one I'm fishing the Big Bite Challenge with.
Okay,
So
that place is fun. You will have a
Spavinal.
blast. Yes.
Yeah, that's where I went with you and Brendan last year.
Yeah, and it didn't fish as good as it will in April.
Well, that's about the time of year Brendan was spanking their rear over there last year. So I'm gonna pull a phone call into my buddy Brendan.
He'll tell you to
What
call me.
what's do I need to be doing, buddy? I know
Yeah.
that east end of the lake is the best end where all the grass is that time of year, probably
Uh,
for the most part.
yeah, yeah. I wouldn't overlook a lot of the. I guess I got to repicture how this lake is. It east and west? Is that how
Yeah,
it
for the
lays
most
out?
part, it's east and west.
So it'd be the south bank. That whole
Yeah,
south bank.
yeah.
Don't overlook that stuff.
Where me and him cut you off that day, that little pocket.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
That was pretty funny. We was pulling in that cove, and he goes, "Is that Zach?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Watch this shit." He spins in there. I stood up, just started laughing. Like,
Hey,
what?
does a Yui,
Yeah.
yeah, washing machine on my boat.
And then just drops the trolling motor. I stood up on the back
I
deck, just bent over laughing. Oh,
starts fishing. I was like, wow, okay.
oh, it was funny.
If you weren't my
But
tournament partner and buddy, I'd be screaming.
No kidding. So, what else you got going on?
I am getting organized.
Yeah, I
Was
know your
spent a bunch
boat's
of
at
time.
Skeeter.
Yes, I spent a bunch of time this weekend since I didn't have the boat, cleaning out my garage, getting it organized, and then, yeah, found out my boat. I had to go back to the plant down in Kilgore, Texas, to get some warranty stuff done on it, and waiting on it to come back, and then hoping that I can get some a live sonar unit mounted before season starts. So I got
Yeah.
about 4 weeks, I think 4 weeks
You know, a
to
live
get
sonar
all the
unit would
stuff done.
be helpful.
Yeah, yeah. After going all year last year without it, yes,
Yeah.
it'd be helpful. So
Well, you're gonna be excited. Elk River Jigs has got chatterbaits coming.
really,
Yeah.
that's exciting.
I
It is
put all the
exciting.
info into the website a few days ago, and I got all the colors that I'm going to offer for the moment. I got them all
Okay.
tied and built. I just got to get pictures taken and uploaded so we can get them put on the website.
Very
So
nice.
yeah, so they are coming. So keep your eye out for them.
I will. Is it gonna be the same kind of style it was before? Is it gonna be
Yep. So it's going to be kind of that arky rocker head style head.
okay?
With your standard, it's basically a stainless steel corrosion resistant style hook that's extra long shank, so it's really long, got a really long shank hook.
Okay.
And then the blade is fastened with a split ring, and it's the ovaled style blade instead of the TP.
The
Heck,
coffin style.
yeah,
Yeah.
instead of that coffin style blade, it's just the rounded style blade.
Okay.
But we are going with one that they call a turbo blade, which has 2 holes in the blade, which creates kinda like a bubble trail / more water turbulence than a standard blade.
Ah.
Yeah. So,
So it will. So this particular chatterbait is gonna hunt more than it's gonna probably clatter like a jackhammer, right?
correct.
It'll hunt
It's
more than yeah.
it's not gonna have the traditional jackhammer tick and rattle,
Yeah.
but it is gonna have the chatterbait hunt. 'Cause I've been throwing them for a couple years, just testing them and playing with them and whatnot. So,
Yeah.
like, all my chatterbait fish I caught last year in Southside were on one of these chatterbaits
I used.
with the turbo blade. So, I was throwing it with that specific blade.
Yeah. So
So,
you know this because we've been friends this long, but when I was in college, before y'all bought the company, the old style chatterbait head was very similar to that,
yep.
and I thought it was the best chatterbait because it hunted, and the action was you can't get that out of even a regular chatterbait.
Nope.
You can't get the same action. So
The only one that gets
rather,
close is the jackhammer and the thunder cricket.
I would say even more so the thunder cricket, yeah,
Yeah.
because the jackhammer stays real tight. Like you're throwing a jackhammer more for the sound, I feel like, and um,
Yeah.
really that I
Well,
mean
and
the colors, but
I'm not gonna lie, I've thrown a jackhammer a lot, and honestly, I've caught more on ours and a traditional chatterbait than I have off a jackhammer. And I'm sure some of it's mental. I don't know, but I've got to where when I go to throw a chatterbait, the first one I pick up is either ours or the original chatterbait because I just don't have the confidence in a jackhammer anymore.
it's 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 funny you say that because it's the same for me, unless it's early. If
The
it's early,
only
I catch them on jackhammer.
the only thing I like about the jackhammer over any of the rest of them is the hook.
Yeah.
So, and they're bait keeper. But
And I like how they're tied. The skirts are tied versus.
Yeah, our skirt's going to be tied instead of banded, just like the jackhammer is. So, and right now we're going to have white, chartreuse and white, black and blue, falcon crawl, which is kind of a bluegill imitation. It's kind of got green pumpkin, orange, and kind of like a lime green color to imitate a bluegill. And then I'm going to have fire crawl, so the red and orange one.
Okay.
So that'll be the 5 colors that it's going to start with, or we're going to start with, and you're going to have your option to choose 3/8, half, or 3/4 ounce, and you're going to have the ability to select your blade color, so silver, gold, or black nickel blade. So little different.
So those are the standard colors that are going to be on the website. Are you going to be able to, like with the jigs, can somebody send you and say, hey, can you match this color?
Yep.
Are you going to be able to do that?
Yep. I mean, right now, the problem we're going to have with anything, really, even jigs, is getting material. Getting skirt material right now is like almost impossible. That's the reason I made falcon crawl for the bluegill imitation instead of brim, because we can't get the material for brim, so we need to conserve it as much as we can.
Yeah.
So, but yes, absolutely. If there's a color in a jig, one of our jigs you like, or a color from somebody else that you like, absolutely. There's a notes section on checkout that you can plug your notes in. And I got it fixed finally, where we can actually see the notes. Before, the notes were going into La La Land. I don't know where they were going. But we got it fixed. So during checkout, there's a place to add additional information. And when you put a note in there for what you want, we can do it. So
that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So, and then also keep your eye out. It's going to be a little while for these, but we have a Ned head coming too.
Which I've seen, folks, and it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah. So the prototype, I poured up all of the ones I needed for the Masters a few nights ago. Got the weed guard holes drilled, and the reason they're going to have a weed guard hole is the head's going to double as 2 things. We're either going to be able to just paint it and package it and sell it as Ned heads, or we will be able to tie a skirt on it and use it as a Ned jig. So it's going to double as 2-fold. So we're going to be able to use the head for 2 different things.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So, and I've actually been throwing it a little bit too over the last year or so. I haven't had a whole lot of them to play with, so I've only had 1 or 2 of them at a time to play with, so I've had to be careful with not losing them. But
that's always the one. It's always the one you catch the fish on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
2 of them.
But kind of a little hint to it is I'll just say it's going to be an Arky style head in small Ned rig sizes is what it's going to be.
Compact.
So, yep. So it's going to be an awesome little thing.
Are you as an Elk River Jigs going to be at either of the shows this year?
No. Unfortunately, no. We wanted to. The biggest thing is, and some of this boils down to lack of our miscommunication. One, we don't typically like to get a booth at those shows if we have a vendor at a show.
Right, because you heard their business.
We would rather let them, take jigs on consignment or buy them from us and take them, whatever the case may be, whatever we work out, and then me send pro staff guys to help them rather than us have our own booth and steal business from them. So I thought we had vendors at both shows, but come to find out, it doesn't look like we're going to have vendors at either show.
Oh man.
So, and we've already got prior engagements for other things, family wise, on those weekends. So we're not going to be able to do our own booth either. So it is what it is. It's the nature of it. I'm sure Vance will have some jigs. I plan on going to the Grove show if I can, but
Yeah.
we'll see. I know one place that we will have a vendor at. Actually, I don't know if he's got any stuff with him this week, but Baitworks is at the boat show, and they carry our stuff.
They're carrying you guys now?
Yep, they've got our jigs. That's all they've got so far. They've got football, finesse, and swim jigs for now, I believe. But I don't know if they brought any of our jigs with them for the boat show, but I know they're bringing some for their booth at Red Crest.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go.
So.
Which I saw. Where is that at this year? Because that is not. It's not at the Cox Center. I know the tournament's on Grand.
I got to look at that venue again for the expo. I was not 100% sure where that was at, so I got to look.
Yeah, I was watching the MLF deal this weekend, and they mentioned it, and I was like, I've never even heard of that place. I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to see where that venue's at because I'm not 100% sure where it's located. So, but
yeah, 'cause that'll be a good trade show too.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Another thing that just started first of the year is Matt Looney's new boat raffle. He got his new boat to raffle off for this year.
That started already?
Yep, he starts at January 1st. You can buy tickets in January. So he's got a new Skeeter FXR. I think he's got a 21 this year that he's raffling away at the end of the year sometime. But he also, I don't know how much you've followed him, he does monthly giveaways as well.
Right.
And this month's giveaway for the monthly is a set of Power Pole blades.
Oh.
So Kyle went and bought a couple tickets.
Well, how much are they?
$25.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. Well, it's $25 if you buy one or buy them individually. And then he gives a price break a little bit depending on quantities of 7 or quantities of 10. You start to get a discount. So like 7 tickets is $150, and I don't remember what 10 is.
Right around
200, I think. So
yeah.
So, but go check out Bass for Beckers, buy some raffle tickets, and get entered for not only this month's monthly, but also his boat at the end of the year. And then keep an eye on his social media throughout the year, because he does a different monthly giveaway every month. So like next month, if you want in for the monthly, you have to buy one for that month, which will also get you in for the boat again. So pretty cool little deal he's got going there. So, and I know he's got some other things in the works with that he's trying to get going. I can't talk about, but he's told me some things he's trying to work on that will be really, really cool if he can get agreements from some people to do it. So it'll be good.
Yeah, he's always working on something.
Always. So he's fixing to kick off the NPFL schedule this year.
When is that?
Next month sometime, I want to say. I'd have to go look at their schedule again. They're all running together. So I don't know. Did you see MLF has Pro Circuit Fantasy Fishing now?
I did, but I'll be honest, although they're all the big names, I was gonna say normally when that fantasy comes out, I'm like, I don't even know who half these people are, which, I mean, that's just me. But the Pro Circuit, the Pro Tour, Is it Pro Circuit or Pro Tour? They both
It-
have fantasy?
So, well, I know there's more coming. It's not the Bass Pro Tour, so it's not BPT. It
Okay.
is. It's the Tackle Warehouse Pro
Pro
Circuit.
Circuit.
Yeah.
Right. So
So
that's the one that I'm still learning the names and all
yeah.
that.
So
The
you've
Pro
got
Tour.
Kyle Cordiana fishes that.
Yeah.
Mitchell Webb fishes that. There's some of the BPT guys that have come down to fish that. So like this past weekend, Michael Neal won, which
I saw that.
congratulations to Michael Neal on his win.
Yep.
He finished out.
Bobby Lane. Bobby
He finished.
Lane or
Yeah, Bobby Lane fished it.
yeah.
Michael Neal though, he won Angler of the Year in BPT last year, and won the final event of BPT last year, and now won the first event of the Pro Circuit this year. So he's on a roll.
He ain't hurt for money.
No, no, he's a super good dude too. So couldn't happen to a better guy.
It was a
But
fun tournament to watch.
it was. I watched most of it. So
Are you doing fantasy this year?
I am. So
Yeah, I'm gonna try and do it. I saw next week is the first
next
of the
week, yep, next week on the St. Johns River.
I'm
So
excited.
actually, also, I actually seen a post from him today, from Gleason. Say some prayers for his wife. She had to have some surgery today.
Oh, Randy did?
Yeah. So I'm not sure what the details are as far as what kind or how she's doing or anything like that. I know he made a kind of an emotional post earlier talking about how he'd been thinking about his boo all week. So
Oh yeah, definitely prayers for them.
yeah, because Randy's a sweetheart. So
They both are.
they are.
Freaking Daryl.
Daryl's just a genuinely good dude.
He is.
He would help anybody. Even if it meant hurting himself, he would help you to hurt himself, even if it hurt himself.
I don't know if I go that far.
I would. Maybe not when it comes to on the water,
He's
but
a good dude.
in person, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He definitely
He is.
great sense of humor.
Oh yeah.
Make
A
you
silver
laugh.
fox.
The Silver Fox.
Yeah.
You've had the pleasure to get to fish with him. I've had the pleasure to get to fish with him, and if you
Yep.
get the chance, I don't know how much guiding he still does, but he does have educational stuff.
Yep.
That he does, seminars and whatnot. Go give him a look, a shout. He
Yeah, I
is worth
think
your time. You'll learn a
his
lot.
his guide business I think is South Toledo Bend Guide Service. Is that what it is?
I don't know.
I think that's
Toledo
what
Bend
it is.
guys.
I can't remember for sure. But yeah, Daryl Gleason, he's a super good dude. He's fun to be in the boat with. He's just fun to be around in general. So, hoping he has a good year on the elites this year. So
I picked him on my fantasies.
I did too. He'll be on my fantasy team pretty much every week, probably. He's my boy. I just need him. I just need him to put some ocean ponies in the box. Yep. Yep. I don't know what happened. I may have lost you. I got you, but it's not very good. So, which you're driving, so I'll let you get off here. Go ahead and get on home, and I'm gonna probably peace out and go. So, can you hear me now? Technical difficulties. Hold on. Gotta love technology. Technology is pain. anyways, we're gonna go ahead and end it right there. We'll call it a day. Need to thank Van Kulen for jumping on and joining the podcast this week. If he can hear us still, I don't know if he can. But it was fun and exciting to talk to him and all the things we had to talk about. So next week, I've got it set up for Charles Moore from Southside to come on and join. He's going to talk about Southside and what they got going on and the upcoming year. So that's it, guys. Tight lines.